It's important to organize your days and study accordingly, and you need to know how. And probably that's why you're here, so let me help you out with that. Now, what I prefer doing is setting a goal and then find ways to try and achieve those goals. Now, firstly, let me tell you what my study strategy is for this year. For the longest time, I used to depend on my subject teachers to give me the question answers to a certain chapter or anything like that, and then I would start learning them. This has to change from this year on. So basically, I'm going to share my plan and my action plan, which is going to definitely help you too, and that is going to be the answer to the question that you came here looking for. As I said previously, my goal for this year is to setting goals and then figuring out ways to achieve those. That means I'll decide which chapter I'll study from what subject and on which day. Then I'll follow the trick that I was doing during the exams, that is to write down the top 3 things that I definitely have to get done on that particular day. Now, since we do not have any exams right away, we can just go simple and just keep doing 1 or 2 things depending upon how much is the urgency to that. But keep all of those things realistic. If you have tuitions and stuff, then make sure how much time you will have for yourself and for your self-study per day, and allot things that you can do realistically for that day after all of your homeworks and projects and everything else. And if that means you will just get to do 1 chapter only, then it's completely fine. Let's say for the upcoming week, your plan is to complete History Chapter 4 and Biology Chapter 2, quite random. But if we follow that trait and we need to start it from Monday, then maybe your plan should be something like this. We will start reading the chapter and start attempting the objective type questions. Then step number 2, you'll start finding the subjective type answers to those subjective type questions and mark them on your book and keep that for that day. And then on the next day, maintain a copy where you can write all of the answers that you are searching for and you are attempting. Keep the fair copy for the fair subject for the subject teacher itself. But in that fair rough copy, you're going to write the questions, the answers that you marked on the book of the certain questions, right? And then start writing all of the answers. Write how many you can. It's not necessary that you'll have to finish all of the answers on the same day. Doesn't matter. Write how many you can depending upon how much time you have. This is on the second day. Then on the third day, if you have any other questions that you left the previous day because you didn't have any time, you had homeworks and stuff, then write those first and then start memorizing those answers slowly but steadily. Do 5 of them max and then move on to Biology Chapter 2, maybe, as we said previously. Then start the same process, read the chapter, do the objectives and mark the subjective type questions. Do not start it right away because we have things from history pending. So on the 3rd day, I think? Yeah, or 4th day, I got confused. I'll put it up on the screen, sorry. So on that particular day, we'll start memorizing the rest of the answers that we have from history. And then on the next day, we'll start memorizing the rest of the answers of history that we had left. And then start writing the question answers from that Biology Chapter 2. Maybe I'm mixing things up. Maybe you might just feel it's like going too overwhelming, but I'd say that's how we actually study. We don't really go very simple. We do a lot of different subjects, a lot of different chapters and all of that. But this is how the process. On the first day, you read the chapter, do the objectives, mark the question answers. Then on the second day, you start writing and maybe start learning them depending upon how much time you have left, or if you can't, then move on to the third day, learn the answers, and if that's done, then move on to the next subject or the next chapter that you have. Do the same process over again and make sure that you finish all of the stuff that you kept your goals for the week. Maybe Biology Chapter 2 and History Chapter 4, as we said over here. So if we can finish it like that, then you'll slowly and steadily see that you're improving and you're spacing out the studies and you're just not really focusing on one subject only and then neglecting the others. Because I'd say before the exams, or way before the exams, you should at least have a general idea about the different subjects and each of the subjects, what the chapters are. Because it otherwise just becomes very problematic when you're just doing one subject at a time and then you're not focusing on the other subjects. Then during the exam, you feel like I just only have this subject fully prepared, but the other chapters or other subjects are like so. I don't think that's really a good process. So I would say do all of the stuff little, but do the whole thing. Well, now at this point you might just feel that I have only shared one thing that you can do in one day, and while I said you can do 3 things or mention top 3 priorities for the day. Well, I'd say the other 2 things can be like something that you have to do the other day, or something that you have to submit the other day, maybe an assignment or something like that. So just total 3 things and not really more than 3 things per day for the studying purpose. Maybe you'll complete doing the question answers and move on to the other chapter if you have time at all. Like 3 things can also be like, I'll read the chapter, do the objectives and mark the subjectives. It could just be as simple as this is, because sometimes you just need to have one chapter fully done. So you can start like that, or else if you have any kind of test for the other day, then you can obviously do that. And practice for the other stuff that you might just have lined up. Why I told to keep it small, because as the classes go on, we do not really get a lot of time for our self-study. So we should start small and take baby steps to our goals. One thing that I should and must mention over here is that, have you noticed these big YouTubers and all who have these wild businesses and they like set goals for like monthly basis, quarterly basis on the other hand, weekly basis, and plus daily basis as well, and they start achieving those goals by taking baby steps, and they kind of reverse engineer type of thing. And this process, all of this thing is kind of inspired from that as well. As students, studying is our business and the marks are our profit. So let's make our businesses flourish, shall we? I mean, I still cannot get over how much this technique and this process has helped me to stay on top of things. Really, before the exam, I felt like I did not have a lot of preparations, and this really helped me. So you can also use this process to organize your study days and then stay on top of everything and then get the wonderful and the most wonderful type of marks and do better than your previous time. If this video has been informative to you, then make sure to give it a like, and also next week I'm going to share something really interesting, that is how I write my to-do list, my daily to-do list and my monthly to-do list. So if you're interested, then make sure to subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it to be notified next Saturday at 5:30 p.m. IST and even beyond with new student life craziness. So if you haven't watched last week's awesome video already about what to do after finishing your study routine, then you should definitely check it out here, because now you know what to do and how to organize your study days. So you might just want to know what to do after finishing your studies. So you should definitely check it out here, and I'll see you over there. Till then, stay happy, motivated, grateful, stay organized. Bye.